Welcome to etvFutures.com. It's Monday, March 10th. I'm Remy Hookey for your Commodities Recap. In energy, NYMEX crude oil prices climbed to yet another record high. Prices soared above $108 a barrel to a new inflation-adjusted high. On the NYMEX, April crude oil touched 108.21 and closed out the session up $2.75 at $107.90 a barrel. Crude oil futures have been rallying on U.S. dollar weakness and as investment funds continue to flow into the energy sector. Meanwhile, AAA and the Oil Price Information Service reported that the national average price of a gallon of gas rose to $3.222 a gallon. April heating oil futures added 2.64 cents to end the session at $2.9734 a gallon. The contract hit a record high of $2.9837 earlier. Meanwhile, April gasoline futures gained 2.06 cents to end at $2.7149 a gallon. Nat gas futures gained 25.5 cents to close at $10.024 per million BTU. Over in the metals complex, gold futures were lower, extending weakness from the previous session. The April contract lost $2.40 to end at $971.80 an ounce on the New York Mercantile Exchange. This afternoon, we're joined by James Mound from James Mound Trading Group and author of the Mound Report. He'll give us his commodities outlook for the week ahead.
This is James Mound for MoundReport.com with the week ahead for the week of March 10th. A critical week in a couple of sectors here. Main focus is going to be on the grain markets. We saw a major lock limit down move in soybeans on Friday. And the interesting part about the lock limit move was the March contract, which was in first notice, didn't have a limit. So we're seeing it down over $1 on the close, which let a lot of momentum follow through to this morning's move, which basically capped lock limit down again this morning. Since then, though, we've seen a strong recovery in the grain markets, and really what this is some short covering going into tomorrow's World Ag Supply and Demand and Crop Production report. The big report's at the end of the month when we see the acreage report plantings numbers, but up until then, what we're really watching is the market's exposure to supply-side issues. We just saw Zimbabwe come out and say that 80% of their plantings were rained on and they had a late planting season. This is going to cause a net shortage for that country, and you can start to see that type of thing happening quite a bit in the upcoming months in grains. March is a critical month, though, and I expect to see a strong sell-off in the grains continue through the end of the month. It's an opportunity to get short, develop some put positions, but the option premiums are basically evaporating out of the grain markets very, very strongly today. Great opportunity to be a buyer of some options. Cheap deal Monday. Looking at other markets, crude oil's mega rally here is about to come to an end. We did see a bit of a change in trend in the inventory supply numbers from last week, but I don't expect that to continue. And as we get overwhelming supply in this market for this time of year, we're going to start seeing price catch up to this supply issue and a strong selling incur, not only in crude, but also in RBOB and heating oil. Last but not least, let's take a look at the metals. You got gold and silver absolutely collapsing this morning. We were down over $1 in silver. It recovered, and now it's selling off again. You have platinum down over $100. Electricity is back online for the most part in South Africa, the main thrust behind the platinum move. But overall, the metals markets are probably the most overbought, exposed of any market in this entire commodities industry. Grains might be a tight second there, but gold and silver are both seeing some selling pressure, and there could be some extreme volatility to the downside. So I'll take advantage of this opportunity to buy put options in gold as well as silver, and look for the U.S. dollar to rebound in the next 2 weeks as the Federal Reserve interest rate policies met with a little bit more appreciation for their approach than in recent Fed meetings in recent months. That'll do it for me, James Mound, MoundReport.com, and the week ahead. We'll see you next week.
That was James Mound from James Mound Trading Group with his commodities outlook for the week ahead. And that wraps it up for your Commodities Recap. I'm Remy Hookey. Join us later this afternoon for PM Exchange right here on etvFutures.com.